As Tuesday, hello there, welcome to the 6 a.m. news here on TV3 New Day. I am Mawina Egbeta. Let's get into the headlines for the morning. This morning, President John Mahama to receive a 2-4-led mediation committee report expected a lot later in the day. Also, National Service Authority launches centralized system to eliminate ghost names as it flags over 8,000 persons registered illegally. And finally, Vice President Professor J. Nano Pokwajiman says investor confidence is growing as he launches Ghana's first ever sanitary pad factory. Glad that you could join us this morning. Let's get into our very first story for you. And the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II is set to present a comprehensive report on the Bawku Peace Roadmap to President John Mahama today. This marks a significant milestone in the efforts to resolve the long-standing Bawku chieftaincy conflict. There's a lot more in this report.
The mediation process initiated by former President Akufo-Addo and continued by President Mahama has involved extensive dialogue between the Kusasi and Mamprisi communities. Key aspects of the mediation process included dialogue sessions between representatives from both communities who met at the Menchia Palace with security personnel deployed to ensure order. On Monday, December 1, the Asantehene rounded off his mediation effort in the Bawku chieftaincy crisis with a face-to-face meeting between the contending parties at the Menchia Palace, Jubilee Hall, Kumasi. The report will outline agreements reached, recommendations for next steps, and proposals for consolidating peace in the area. The Bawku conflict has resulted in several deaths, displacement, and destruction of property since November 2021. The mediation efforts praised by the National Peace Council aims to bring lasting peace and stability to the region. The presentation of the report is expected to be a crucial step towards implementing a roadmap for peace in Bawku. Judith Brown, TV3 News.
Well, the Ashanti Regional Police Command says it has made major breakthroughs in recent security operations leading to the arrest of suspected robbers linked to the robbery and murder of 28-year-old Silva Ngozi at Asokore Mampong. Briefing the media, the Regional Police Commander, DCOP Athol Sayakuto, indicated the resolve of the command to continue its crackdown on criminals to ensure the safety of residents.
Following an intelligence-led operation on December 12, a joint team from the Regional Police Headquarters and the Anti-Robbery Unit arrested the suspect at their hideout at Abuabo.
Preliminary investigations indicate that the suspects robbed the deceased, during which one of them allegedly stabbed her with a knife, resulting in her death. A search conducted in the room of Farouk Idris led to the retrieval of a machete, knives, and other offensive weapons. During interrogation, the suspects admitted to committing the robbery.
In a related development, the command has also announced the arrest of 3 additional suspects involved in a series of street robberies across several communities, including Asokore Mampong, KNUST, Kenyase, Besore, Duase, Antwa, Ayuduase, and surrounding areas.
Items retrieved from their hideout at Abuabo include 59 iPhones, 6 Android phones, 4 tablets, 5 laptops. The command is appealing to members of the public who may have fallen victims to these criminals within the affected areas to report to the Ashanti Regional Police Command to assist with investigations. All suspects will be put before court in due course to face full rigors of the law.
The Regional Police Command has assured the public of its continued commitment to maintaining peace, law and order in the region and is urging residents to support the police with timely and credible information to help combat crime.
Well, as government rolls out a tougher sanitation regime, reintroducing National Sanitation Day and making cleanliness a key performance measure for local assembly leaders, trained environmental health officers meant to enforce these standards say they remain at home unemployed. The unemployed environmental health officers and assistants have taken to the streets demanding immediate employment. There's a bit more in this report by my colleague Noble Crosby-Annan.
Unemployed environmental health officers and assistants took to the streets of Accra on Monday, December 15, to protest years of joblessness, accusing the state of neglect despite worsening sanitation challenges across the country. The protest comes at a time government has reintroduced the National Sanitation Day and made sanitation a key performance indicator for all metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives. The group's first stop was the Ministry of Finance, where an initial challenge over documentation delayed the presentation of their petition longer than expected.
We have been writing to the ministry since 2021 till date. We sometimes even come in person to do what? Submit the letters. They keep it under their decks. They don't say anything about it. But the problem here is that they don't read it.
We still find it very difficult why government doesn't want to employ us. Because when you look at the sanitation issues in our country, we are needed.
Stop saying that you're not aware. We are giving you a letter. Say the purpose. Say your purpose. Your purpose of coming to the city. Your purpose of being on the seat. We want to see the action now.
Eventually, the petition was received on behalf of the ministry by the Director of Administration.
We wish to communicate on behalf of management that they take your plight very serious. So we are here to pick your petition on behalf of management. And accordingly, you receive a feedback from us.
The demonstrators then marched to the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, presenting the same demands.
We are saying that we want to keep Ghana, make Ghana the cleanest city. And we can achieve it with 5 environmental health officers at the various municipal assemblies. Honorable Minister, I have a daughter and a wife. Yes. Ask me what do I do to feed them. Please, I'm 32 years. I beg, Honorable Minister, we are here. We are on our knees. We are not here to fight.
Receiving the petition, the Minister for Local Government, Ahmed Ibrahim, assured the unemployed graduates of his support and commitment to help address their concerns.
With this, your letter, backed by the 2 letters you've written, we are going to take it to Cabinet. So the President himself will hear your voice.
Leadership of the group say they remain hopeful the assurances given will translate into action and lead to their employment.
In other matters, Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman says investor confidence is currently being boosted owing to lowered inflation from previous highs and restored fiscal discipline. She emphasized the need for Africa to move beyond exporting raw materials for improved economies as the future lies in processing and value addition. At the commissioning of a new soft-care new production line in Accra, the Vice President noted that the government has allocated 292 million cedis for the continuous distribution of sanitary pads.
When schoolgirls receive locally produced sanitary pads, they gain not only improved hygiene, but also support from a functioning domestic value chain. This matters because menstrual hygiene remains a significant barrier to girls' education and well-being. To address this, government has allocated 292.4 million Ghana cedis in the 2026 budget to continue distributing free sanitary pads to girls in primary and secondary schools nationwide. To reinforce this intervention and stimulate local industry, the President directed that all sanitary pads procured under this program must be manufactured in Ghana. We have significantly lowered inflation from previous highs, restored growth, and achieved credit rating upgrades, thereby boosting investor confidence.
Now, the Ghana Library Authority has initiated a review of its 55-year-old law that established it, in a move to introduce new reforms, including licensing of professional librarians across the country. Meanwhile, the minority leader and member of parliament for Ifutu, Alexander Apenyomakin, has urged parents and teachers to guard children against the misuse of a new ICT center at low cost, a suburb of Winneba, for internet fraud and scamming activities.
Board through the Ministry of Education is currently undertaking review of the Ghana Library Authority 55 years old Act 327. The reviewed Act will introduce important reforms, including the establishment of a national library, presidential memorial libraries, a library development fund, and a library council to regulate and license professional librarians.
As we open this door to limitless possibility, we must also sound a solemn warning. We must guard against dark temptation to misuse this powerful technology. We all have a duty as parents, teachers, and elders to ensure that our brilliant young minds see technology as a tool for creation, not crime. Let it be said that from this library emerged architects of progress, not authors of fraud. Let it be known that when the children of Ifutu master the digital world, they will use it to solve problems, build ethical global businesses, and earn for Ghana a reputation of ingenuity and integrity. I'm talking about a 100-seater ICT center where Ifutu's children will learn to compete globally. A private reading rooms where quiet brilliance is born. A 150-seater conference hall where ideas are sharpened and futures negotiated. It is a space that declares to every child, you belong to the future. This becomes the 9th thing in Ifutu, making our constituency the most library endowed in Ghana.
Right now, the National Service Authority has announced the rollout of a new centralized and robust management system designed to eliminate ghost names from the scheme. Speaking at a press conference, Director General Dela said a caution that anyone attempting to compromise the system will face dire consequences, as a new platform is built to detect and expose such activities.
According to De La Cedo, more than 8,000 individuals have already been flagged, with some arrested, while staff of the authority have also been suspended and taken into custody.
The number of serious irregularities being perpetuated in 3 tertiary institutions: University of Development Studies, UDS, Ghana Communications Technology University, Akenton Apia Minka University of Skills Training and Entrepreneurial Development. The outcome of the investigation: 10 members of staff from the various institutions have been arrested and are under investigations with the security agencies, as well as some staff of National Service have also been arrested and currently with the National Security and are under interrogation.
The Director General also announced the reopening of the validation portal for the next 1 week and urged personnel to take advantage and resolve any outstanding issues.
We are reopening the National Service validation portal again for 1 final week. From today, Monday, 15 December, to next week, Monday, 22nd December, 2025. I have directed my staff all across the country to also go to work on Saturday, 20th of December, as an additional day of access to enhance the process.
Expressing disappointment at institutions and organizations that reject service personnel, she warned that such entities risk being blacklisted.
I speak directly to those who have received the disheartening news of rejection from the organizations to which they were posted. One ministry, after accepting the postings, waited until the final day of validation and registration, last Friday to be precise, to issue rejection letters to nearly 100 service personnel. We have moved beyond appeals. We have formally written through our supervising ministry to the Office of the President to insist, and really insist, that all ministries, departments, agencies, and government institutions that are located service personnel must honor their quotas. The institutions who reject personnel without valid reasons and official release letters will be subjected to punitive actions, including blacklisting them from subsequent postings.
Additionally, she cautioned that anyone who fails to comply with the instructions of the authority will face serious consequences.
Now, a former board member of the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund testifying against the former board chair, Professor Christopher Ameyaw-Kumfi, and ex-CEO Solomon Asamoah has admitted to a series of email correspondence between him and other members of the fund. Earlier, the Accra High Court had ordered Yao Damidakwa, the prosecution's first witness, to produce 16 emails which had been cited by the Defense Counsel. Lord Iduasari reports.
Ameyaw-Kumfi, the former board chair of the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, and its chief executive, Solomon Asamoah, are facing multiple charges of causing financial loss to the state for their roles in the $2 million Accra SkyTrain project, which did not materialize. They have both pleaded not guilty and are on bail. In court on Monday, December 15, lawyers for Solomon Asamoah, the first accused, led by Victoria Bath, continued with cross-examination of the prosecution's first witness, a former GIIF board member. Yao Damidakwa, who had been ordered by the High Court to produce the 16 emails of his correspondence with other board members, noted that he was unable to print out the mails, hence was given copies of the said emails by the defense lawyers. During the cross-examination, Damidakwa admitted to over 16 email correspondences between him and the former CEO as well as the company secretary regarding the SkyTrain project. The emails, spanning from July to September 2018, contain minutes from meetings with the board, assertions of investment committee members, and a presentation by Solomon Asamoah on the viability of the SkyTrain project. Asked to confirm the recommendation by the investment committee members on the SkyTrain project to the board members, the prosecution witness vehemently opposed the assertion, adding that he needed to refresh his memory. But the defense lawyers questioned his notion, since the witness noted that he could not recollect whether the meeting with the investment committee members took place, although there were records confirming the same. The trial has since been adjourned to Tuesday for continuation of the cross-examination of the prosecution's first witness. Lodi Dwasari, TV3 News, Accra.
The Department of Urban Roads in the Ashanti region has announced the commencement of emergency repair works on the Kasi Timber Bridge, a critical transport link serving several industrial and residential communities in Kumasi. The decision follows repeated appeals from motorists and residents over the deteriorating nature of the 10-year-old bridge, raising concerns about the safety of both drivers and pedestrians who use the route daily.
This stretch connects the industrial enclave of Kasi to major parts of Kumasi and also serves as a key link to Kumasi and Yankwanta Road, which leads to the central and western regions. However, sections of the bridge have developed deep cracks, prompting fear of a possible structural failure. The situation is worsened by the constant movement of heavy-duty vehicles, which use the bridge on a daily basis. Local authorities say the emergency repairs are necessary to restore the structural integrity of the bridge and prevent any potential disaster. As part of the repair works, motorists are said to expect scheduled partial closures, particularly during the installation of major bridge components.
Sebaso omo ye dia enye se bi omo de ma contractor bi na contractor na beje aboso because e kwan na se enye Sokoban village ho na obetimi afa ma akopie Sokoban a aha na kwan bi e ni ho no mo obetimi afa obepie ahwodwo ana atenga junction ho.
Despite the inconvenience, authorities assure the public that controlled and safe passage of vehicles will be maintained throughout the 3-month repair period.
We need the safety of the citizens. We need the safety of the motorists. We need the safety of Asokwa, the safety of the people using the bridge, because we need to count on safety than any inconvenience. So on this note, I'll beg everybody, they should all come down. We need to fix the bridge so that we can all use the bridge in a safe manner.
The emergency reconstruction works are expected to be completed by March 14, 2026. Motorists are therefore being urged to strictly comply with traffic management measures that will be put in place to ensure safety and smooth traffic flow during the construction period. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
And our final story for the morning, construction works are progressing steadily on several key road infrastructure in the Volta region under government's flagship, The Big Push. Critical roads such as the Hoa Flower Road, the Have-Hohwe Road, and all receiving attention following a groundbreaking ceremony as performed by President John Mahama in September. Faisal Abdul Idris has more.
Number 17, President Mahama launched what was a major campaign promise, The Big Push in Ho. The $10 billion flagship program is aimed at comprehensively addressing the country's infrastructure deficit, particularly roads.
All these roads that are starting, the money is sitting in the account and waiting to pay them. I was talking with the minister, and he's allocating 30 billion cedis to The Big Push.
Under The Big Push, major roads such as the Ho Aflawa Road, Atimpoku through Asikuma and Nyawasi to Ho Road, which are considered economic corridor roads for the Volta region, were captured, totaling 177 kilometers of roads.
And I am challenging all contractors to prove that the idea that the Ghanaian contractor is not fit for purpose, that the Ghanaian contractor can only do shoddy work, let us seize this opportunity to prove everybody wrong.
Barely 3 months after, work is progressing steadily on each of these roads.
There are 9 contractors on the stretch. Progress on the road is impressive. Contractors are working very well on the road. Everything is fine. This, when completed, is also going to boost the economic activity, especially from Aflawo to Ho.
Volta Regional Minister James Gunu, who has been touring the projects, wants the roads completed on schedule.
And having gone round, we've seen significant progress. We urge the contractors to work very fast. This is not just a project. This is a special project that has a lot of economic opportunities.
Another road getting attention under The Big Push is the Have-Hohwe Road. The about 54-kilometer stretch was initially funded by COCOBOT, but has been enrolled onto The Big Push under the National Road 2, which stretches from Tema to Kolongogo.
All the 4 entry roads are under construction. Luckily, our roads, all of them have been captured under the Big Push. I know when this is completed, when these roads are completed, and the traffic, half of the traffic is moved from Kumasi to Hohwe, business will boom, and then the economic activities will rise in
Despite the progress being made on the other roads, work on the Have-Hohwe Road appears to be slow.
We are not too impressed with the Hohwe-Have activities because of the delay from the contractors. However, looking at the contractors from Asikuma to Atidome, we are impressed.
When you have a look into our shops now, a lot of dust every day, every time. If it has rained or it has not rained.
Well, that's our package for you this morning. There's a lot more news if you log on to 3news.com. I am Mawina Egbeta. New Day continues.
And it's officially 8 days to Christmas. The joy is rising. The spirit is already in the air. And you are very welcome to TV3 New Day. I am Cookie. How are you gearing up for Christmas this year? Now, considering the amount of money you have in your bank account, is it going to go well or you're trying to reset? Good morning, good morning. Good morning to all of you who have tuned in to watch us this morning. Thank you one more time for choosing a TV3 New Day. It's a blessing and it's a pleasure to be here this morning. My colleagues are going to be joining us later, but we've got a lot on our plate for you this morning. Right after this introduction, we'll activate the phone lines. You get to talk to us this morning. We'll pick your thoughts on what's happening with our national service scheme. So get all your opinions and your thoughts ready. We'll be getting into all of that. But let me just tell you what we have tabled for discussion this morning on the big issue. 14 days to Kwandai's rerun. Well, Global Info Analytic polls show the MPP is leading by some 4%. MPP is leading the NDC by some 4%. We'll be taking a look at that. And also the flag bearer race of the NPP campaigns are intensifying as candidates prepare for the 2026 primaries. And there's a whole lot going on, especially after Ajua Safo spoke about rallying behind Dr. Mahmudu Bawumia instead of Kennedy Ejapon. Many of you out there are saying a lot of things. We'll be playing that tape this morning. So we'll take a look at all of that. Our guest this morning, of course, Musa Danko, Executive Director, Global Info Analytics, will be speaking to him. I'm sure that will be on Zoom on the telephone lines. Hamza Suini Saibu, private legal practitioner, will be here this morning. Dr. Ramsey Inosa would also be here in studio. Austin Bracco Powers would also be adding to the discussion this morning. Be on the lookout for that one. But special good morning to all of you. Randa Shao, I know you and the family, you're watching Ebo Samoni, Kocho, Theodora Kwa, all of you who choose us this morning. My mom and dad are also watching. Good morning, Daddy-o and Mami-o. Good morning to all of you for choosing us. Thank you very, very much. Now, let's get into some of the issues this morning. There's a whole lot happening with the National Service fraud, and the National Service Authority has disclosed the serious irregularities have been uncovered in 3 tertiary institutions, and some arrests have been made. So far, what has been your challenge about this whole National Service scheme, the ghost names and all of that? Have you been able to assess it yourself? What's happening with you if it's time for you to render your service to our dear nation, Ghana? And also, what's your take on the MPP flag bearership race? You've listened to Ajua Safo. You've listened to all that is flying around. What do you have to say about all that is going on with the campaign? Welcome to this morning. This is TV3 New Day. Welcome back to This Morning, and I'm told the phone lines are buzzing already. Idris, where are you calling us from this morning?
I'm calling you from family.
Idris.
Yes, please.
There's some noise in the back. Can you please tell the people to remain a little bit quiet whilst you are on the telephone lines with us? Welcome to TV3. Okay. Welcome to TV3 New Day. Anyway, your thoughts. Which other issues do you want to deal with?
I want to talk about the NPP flag bearers race.
Okay.
In fact, we all know that. Can I go?
Yes, you can go.
Okay. Thank you very much for TV3. You are doing a wonderful job. Let me first of all send my gratitude to Honorable Ataisha from Samero. Looking at MPP flag bearers, I know that Baumer will win. Baumer will win. And 2028, inshallah, this will come again. Because they have nothing to offer Ghanaians. So that is what I have for you.
Wait. No, Bawumia will win the flag bearership race for the NPP, but it's the NDC that will win the national elections.
Yes, they have nothing to offer to Ghanaians. So Ghanaians are ready to continue with NDC, not NPP.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your time as well this morning. Well said it. Remember that you can also cash out with us this morning, *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. All you need to do is get in the game now. *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. You're choosing the normal option, which is option 2, the TV3 option. Please play as many times as possible to increase your chance of winning big with us this morning. *439#. Another caller on the telephone lines. Hello, you're in a good place. This is TV3 New Day. Where are you calling us from?
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
This is Edward, calling from Satellite Media.
Okay, Edward, let's hear you. Which of the issues are you talking about this morning?
Okay, I wanted to talk about NPP primaries.
Okay.
Yeah. I have actually listened to Adjosafo, and I get her message clear.
Okay.
What she's trying to say is that, she decided to go with Bawumia, knowing very well that family and friend issue has become a topic, in our politics in Ghana here.
Right.
So, Kennedy Japan probably getting the nod and become president. She will not get any appointment in his government. So she decides, because she has, children or a child with Kennedy Japan.
But hold on.
She decides.
But hold on. Another school of thought is also saying that in that same statement, she asked, I've been a member of parliament for 12 years. Masum anamin sumoye or wasum. And then she's done procurement. She's been Minister of Children and Gender and all of that. If Sawasum or if you have worked, then what is family and friends doing? You have justified who you are. You've justified your inclusion, as we say in Ghana. So if Kennedy Japan wins and you've justified your inclusion, why can you not be given an appointment if you so deserve it?
So, you see, Ghanaians will not, get this right if it's like, you have relation with, the president.
Right.
Ghanaians will not take anything for that. So she's trying to avoid that. Eventually, if Bawumia becomes president, she's free to get appointments from Bawumia's government. So she's securing her future, as she rightly put it.
What?
But another way to, that's not a platform for her to, to say about her job in the future. Because putting you there, it is the people who are going to elect you to put you into that office. So you must think about the people. But here is the case, she is
thinking about herself.
She's more thinking about her job than the people that are going to elect, elect them into office. So, I have problem with that aspect. That if it is your job that you are thinking about, you shouldn't put it in the public domain. It should rather be, somewhere, talk about it somewhere else. But here, you must let the people know that you are coming to serve them. So, get it or not, these are the issues that we are bringing on the, we are putting on the table. Elect us or vote for this person. When we come, we will do ABCD for you. Your job, we know politicians are looking for a job. But that shouldn't be public discussion. So, over there, she gets it wrong.
I appreciate your time.
Any which way, Bawumia, as we all know, is going to get the nod. But, the national election, there's no way she'll get it. He will get it.
Okay.
Bawumia will not win the national election,
But he'll win the NPP flag bearership.
He will win the NPP flag bearership.
All right.
Yeah.
We thank you
There's no
for
doubt about it,
we thank you for your thoughts and opinions this morning. Thank you very much. You can also call us, but before you do, make sure that you dial star 439 hash, star 439 hash. If you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber, you get to win 1,000 Ghana cedis this morning. You're choosing option 2, which is the TV3 option. You play as many times as possible to increase your chance of winning. So star 439 hash is the code. Join us on the telephone lines this morning. Okay, another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Who's speaking and where are you calling from?
My name is Ilham and I'm calling from Tamale.
Okay, let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, I want to comment on the scandal that has from the NSS.
National Service Authority. Okay.
National Service Authority. You see, look, I just want to let everybody know. You see, yes, what is happening at the National Service personnel is just a tip of an iceberg as far as corruption is concerned in this country. Could you believe that in the NPP's era, in fact, I have a cousin who was a deputy head of a second cycle institution. Then he was telling me, Uncle, you'll be there and you'll bring a circular letter that next week they are coming to supply rice to the school. If you will pull up, they will go and then decide the rice. 360 bags. They will give you the wheel bill. 400 bags. Sign that we are taking delivery of 400 bags. Can you believe that? How many secondary schools do we have in Ghana? This thing was pervasive, happening everywhere. But did you hear any secondary, any headmaster come out to complain? Now, by doing this, what message are you sending to the person taking delivery of the food? So you are asking that indirectly. We should also take his. That explains why, in their time, they were complaining. No feeding problem. No, they weren't properly being fed. So I'm saying that, you see, the extent to which corruption has eaten deep in this country. We are joking. We are joking. We are really joking. There's no any institution that can extricate itself from corruption. No any institution. There's any institution at all. Then you ask yourself, Ghanaians, what is wrong with us? Look, farming. I was a victim. Can you please even farm? You farm. When your focus are about victim, if you joke, before you go the next day, you go and people have gone and they harvested everything from the farm and leave the farm and go out. That's Ghana for you. And we are covering this.
Your point has been well made. Your point has been well made. Sentiments well registered this morning. Thank you very much. Another caller is waiting. We apologize for your waiting time, but you can talk to us now. Your name and where you're calling us from. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Well, whilst we wait to be connected to that caller, the Director General of the National Service Scheme is telling us that 10 staff members from the University for Development Studies, UDS, Ghana Communications Technology University, GCTU, and Akintin Apia Menka University of Skills and Training and Entrepreneurial Development have been arrested and are currently under investigation. Now, she added that some NSA staff have also been taken into custody. That's the matter we are talking about this morning. The investigations uncovered a number of serious irregularities being perpetrated in these institutions. 10 members of staff have been arrested and are currently under investigation by the security agencies, she stated. That's the statement right there on your screens. If you want to comment about it, the phone lines are still activated. Kindly talk to us this morning. Another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling us from, sir.
Yeah, my name is Stephen.
Stephen.
I'm calling from La.
Okay, Stephen, right here in Accra,
Yes.
talk to us about the National Service Scheme and all the irregularities.
Yeah, I want to contribute to the primaries.
Okay. Oh, the primaries, rather?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear you.
Listen, the message is clear. Adra Sapo has been with the husband. She knows him inside out. So there's no way to stand by him. Listen, Baumia will win the primaries. Baumia will win hands down. But NDC will take the mantle. So no doubt. And Kennedy is very rude. He's like an American president. What's his name?
Donald Trump?
He's like Trump.
Is that who you're referring to, Donald Trump?
So he will never win. Let's be clear here. Thank you. Have a good morning.
Have a good morning as well. Call us. But before you do, you could also dial *439# if you want to win 1,000 Ghana cedis this morning, so long as you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. *439#. Please choose option 2, which is the TV3 option. Follow the rest of the prompt, and you can win a cool 1,000 Ghana cedis this morning. Also be on the lookout for our Christmas jackpot. It's going to be a good one. Cash Money Cookie is back. I am good for it, and you know when I promise, I deliver. So please be on the lookout for that one, the Christmas jackpot, right here on TV3 New Day. Another caller on the telephone lines. We're discussing all the discrepancies with the National Service Scheme. Another caller. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Alaji, you're welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing, Alaji? Oh, Alaji, your network is acting up this morning. You're sounding very nebulous. I cannot hear you at all.
Look at the terrible network I have.
It's really terrible. You want to reposition yourself so we can hear you properly, or you want to hang up and try again?
Okay, I want to hang up and try again.
No, but I think I can hear you now. Go ahead, Alaji.
Okay. Let me send my greetings to Shani Namusa and Yaza Alaji Alasan. And Honorable Senator, we are professed Deputy Speaker of Parliament. And Chief of Honorable Director and Dr. Abukar Wundi and entire listeners. When you look about the NPP flag bearer election, I don't see Bauma win the NPP flag bearer election. I don't see it so. Maybe Bauma cannot win it. Because when people iron about the Baumia and do the campaign, look about the campaign. When Canada and Japan go to speak, they speak with the phone sign. But when they let people going around, they insulted the Canada and Japan. I think you listen to them, how they speak. That's taken by heart. Insulting the Canada and Japan. But now Japan also going around. Tell them they are missing. So I think that people can reject Dr. Mahmoud Bonga. You can reject Dr. Mahmoud Bonga because they don't have a campaign meeting. Even when he is contested for the flag bearer general election, they don't have the entire entity don't have campaign message. So what is their campaign message? They should tell us. Ghana will not make, even if they bring Baumia, Ghana will not make mistakes to put the person who doesn't have a credibility.
All right, Alaji. Alaji, okay, finish.
So I think national signal bureau. I think sometimes some people they don't understand. If they put you into the office, don't lose the country. And if you want to lose the country,
Alaji, I'm sorry. Alaji, I'm sorry I would have to cut you. There are so many people waiting in line to speak to us. Thank you very much. Forgive me for cutting you before you ended. But other people would also have to make their voices heard. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Yes, your name and where you're calling us from, sir?
My name is Yaya. I'm calling from Tamale Central.
Yaya, the spirit and the vim and vigor with which you're about to talk to me, I can only imagine what your sentiments are. What do you want to talk about, Yaya?
Yeah, I want to emphasize on the MPP collaborative issue.
Okay.
By the way, let me extend my grace to my Tamale Central MP before. Wonderful Professor Adil Muhammad Tedu and Haruna Idrisu. Good morning.
Okay,
so,
go ahead.
Whether you like it or not, people are just trying to tie others' hands so that Baumia can become their flag bearer. What am I saying so? Why can't we start from the branch elections, constituency elections, regional, so that when you finish all this thing, so that the winner will now come out and select the flag bearer for you. Now you are now starting at the head there. So after you finish the election, what about when they conduct the election at the branch and then you get the new executive? You get new executive at the constituency, you get new at the what? Regional and national. How can they work with the flag bearer? In case if those winners are not in the same hand with the flag bearer, how can that thing work? So but it's their own party. Whether they are destroying it, they are doing that anything, in fact we are just praying for them to be united. Because we the NDC are telling Ghanaians that the kind of resetting agenda that we are trying to reset the country, Ghana will never think negative way to vote for NPP again.
Okay.
Whether they like it or not, they should mark it down.
All right.
So I'm appealing to them that they should enter patient and go for election free and fair. So that if I didn't win, I know I didn't win. So that I can support the other candidate. But if I doing things as if you are just supporting on one person, definitely after the winner, you will find it difficult to call me to come and do campaign. So have a nice day.
Very well noted. Have a nice day yourself. The phone lines are still activated. There's more time for you to call us to let your opinions be known this morning. But before I get onto the phone lines again, there's a world-class university right here in Ghana. It's called Rosebank International University, a very strong South African university and a brand of the ADV Tech Group, Africa's largest private education provider, with 146 schools across 5 African countries and over 100,000 learners, and partly owned by the World Bank through the IFC. Rosebank International University is fully accredited by the South African Qualifications Authority, the British Accreditation Council, GTech right here in Ghana, City Guilds UK, and the Capsicum Culinary Studio at Rosebank International University. We offer a Doctor of Business Administration, MBA, Masters of Science and Master of Philosophy in Digital Marketing, Bachelor of Supply Chain Management, targeting professionals in freight forwarding, customs, and many more. We offer hospitality and culinary arts, available at diploma, undergraduate, and postgraduate levels. Now, our ICT has also BSc Information Technology in Business Systems and IT Computer Application Development, all carefully designed to equip you with the skills and qualifications needed for a very successful global career. Our mission is very simple: inspiring excellence. Admissions are now open for January 2026. Visit our modern campus at Airport Commercial Opebia House, Accra, or you can also apply online at www.riuc.edu.gh. Rosebank International University, building global citizens. Now back to the phone lines. Before we get more of your opinions, remember you can win 1,000 Ghana cedis with us this morning just by dialing *439# if you are a Telecel or MTN subscriber. Please get in the game now. Now, we've tabled all the discrepancies that we're experiencing with the National Service Scheme, and as told us by the Director General, students, 10 of them, have been arrested as a fallout from all the discrepancies that are evolving or emanating from the irregularities so far. That's what we're discussing this morning. Another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Grace is keeping me. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Sami from Wali Wali.
Sami, talk to me this morning.
Okay.
I want to say good morning to you and the cherished people of Wali Wali. And to say that the National Service, in fact, it's like every day we have them saying they are doing investigation. And I think it doesn't serve well for this country because it's always 1 year. And since the administration changed, this administration comes to office. And we're all aware of what was going on, the kind of rot and then the loot that was going on there. And to the extent that old people, National Service is meant for the youth. But people, 80 years, people were there. And even minors, they managed to put their name there. And these people were drawing salaries, without doing any work. You understand? So we are thinking that by now, we have seen prosecution. People will have made to pay their monies back and or their assets being confiscated. But every day we hear that they are doing investigations. So they have to speed up things. And then the second one has to do with the MPP primaries. I have an interest there because a brother is contesting, and that is Dr. Bawumia. So I'm not in that party, but it is my hope and prayer that he wins and then lead that party because he has suffered for that party quite a long time. You know, that there was 2012, 2013, that party was not attractive. It was the handiwork of Dr. Bawumia that brought that party to power because also the lectures that he was doing. So I don't understand that why this time around they are trying to yank him up. They should have made this to just contest and oppose because of the hard work that he did for the party. But I'm not surprised. That party, it seems like it doesn't want we the Northerners. It's like we just force ourselves on them. Other than that, he's the most credible candidate for now. So I think they need to give him that kind of chance to continue. You see, but what they are doing to you, look at the names that they are calling him. Some people say that he's what they call it, he's tribalist, he's tribalistic and all that. I don't think that is good. They should allow him to contest and oppose. But I know that that party will not come to power anytime soon, even if he wins. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. Bukari Awimbe Azuri says, good morning, TV3. Please, we are appealing to your station to help us draw the attention of the National Service Secretariat Director to our issue. We completed our national service on 29th August this year, but up until now, our NSS certificates have not been issued. Many of us urgently need the certificate for employment, further studies, and other official purposes. Kindly assist us by highlighting this matter. All right, so I've just read out your message. I'm sure they'll take note. Mensa Majid from Bechem, Toronto says, Sarah Adrasafo is a betrayer. Honorable Ken defended her during a difficult time, so why is she betraying him at this moment? What men can't do, women can do better. Guys, let's shine our eyes. Best regards to Honorable Ishak Dauda, Managing Director of Prestia Sankofa Gold Mines. Keep your messages coming. Aziz Donla says, I served as a NASPA, National Secretary and Regional President, respectively, in 2019 and 2020, and I can confidently say, without any fear of contradiction, that the corruption in the National Service Scheme is not only deeply troubling, but very scary and scandalous as well. The ghost names in there don't sleep in the cemetery. Rather, the ghost names sleep in official pockets. Kindly send my greetings to Honorable Rashid Tanko Computer and Professor Mahmoud Khalid. Aziz Jola, your message has been read back on the telephone lines. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, this is TV3, A New Day. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Okay, my name is Francis Gliver, calling from Asojaman District at Impoku.
Francis, let's hear you.
Charlie, I want to throw light on the two topics that you raised this morning.
All right, sir, go ahead.
Interesting topics. I greet you and your cherished viewers.
Thank you.
I want to call on the president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, to sit up. He is doing best, and we are all applauding him that he should sit up about the corruption issues that has gone by the past, the previous years by the previous government. You see, we voted for him because of the corruption that happens under Nana Akufo-Addo that we experienced. One of the key issues was the National Service team or national secretariat, national service secretariat, that the corruption that went on over there was abysmal. So he need to sit up. Currently, I learned he went to go to do some meetings with the security service that he want to instruct a certain court called the fast track court. That within 3 months your case will be heard. When you feel guilty, they'll send you to prison. What is he doing? Right now we have the mother serpent of corruption, which is that woman, I don't know her name, from the national service, the director.
Yes.
She's still at home, she's still sitting there. Her case she have not been prosecuted up to now. You could see there are a lot of cases coming on currently. They brought a new cases down currently. So he should sit up as the president. Other than that, these people will eat and enforce his name. Let's put it that side.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Adjwasafu. What is she coming to do as a vice president with Bawumia? Bawumia is an empty talker. Bawumia is an empty talker. He comes to say a lot of things. I heard one of the callers saying that Bawumia has done a lot to help the party or the MPP or whatever. He comes with empty talk.
Very well noted. Thank you very much for your time this morning. Randa Shao says, Cookie, Adjwasafu did not do well at all. What would have been nice if the father of your kids was the next president of the country? This is fulfilling to the whole family. It gets to a time when you have to support your own, no matter the circumstances. She sounded very selfish, and I'm very disappointed. Thank you, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana. Randa Shao sent in that one. Well, still on the National Service Scheme and its irregularities, we're about to speak to Donko Husseini, Deputy Director General of Operations at the National Service Authority. We'll get him on the phone lines in no time. We just want to find out the update of these 10 people who have been arrested already. Do we already have him on Zoom? Hello, good morning, Donko Husseini.
Good morning.
How are you doing,
Madam
sir?
Cookie.
Yes, how are you doing?
God is good.
Well, not too many people are happy, as you can tell from all the calls that are coming through this morning. I'm sure you have been listening to a lot of public opinion as well, and you can tell that we are very unhappy. What's the latest with the National Service Scheme, and what's the latest with these 10 who have been picked up by the security services?
Thank you very much, and good morning to your cherished viewers. A little correction. I'm now with the F&A.
All right.
That is Finance and Administration.
Okay.
I've been moved from the operation side.
All right. Finance and Administration. Okay.
Yes, please.
Thank you for the correction.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, so these 10 people that were picked up were actually people who were aiding in the, we're fighting the ghost name since we came to office to make sure nobody puts in any ghost names again. So what happens with a ghost name is that the person doesn't exist or actively participating in the service, but then their names and particulars are added. And those people, once allowances are paid, some way, somehow, because it's an organized crime, somebody is able to siphon the money into the pockets of any of the directors, if possible. But then, in this case that we are dealing with, these are unqualified people who have been added to the list of the various universities. So, if I could take that again, it means when the universities are submitting their class list to us, Donko Husseini did not attend Media General or TV3 University.
Okay.
Or maybe I have completed TV3 University. But the IT guy or the registrar or the academic affairs guy is able to get Donko Husseini's name on the class list with his Ghana card and everything, and
that's the question.
them.
And that's the question I want to ask. How were they able to bypass all these internal controls? We don't understand.
So that is where the universities, some of them were negligent, and then some of them too, because the IT guys, they take the list from the registrars. The registrars are able to just submit the class list to them and then, excuse me to say, go to sleep and expect the IT guys to do exactly what they are asked to do. Then they also go and add their own. So the school provides like 10,000 class lists to you with their index numbers, with everything, with their pictures. That, okay, this is the 10,000 students who have completed this year. So upload that particular data and send it to National Service Authority. Then what they do is that in addition to the 10,000, he also goes through the community or gets some Ghana card and generates index numbers for those about 500 or 1,000 people and add them to the 10,000 that is coming from the school originally. So instead of submitting 10,000 to us, you end up submitting 11,000 from the school.
Wow.
And since now we don't generate the class list, we only take what the school gives us.
Right.
So what happens is that once we take the class list and it's coming from the school with the verified data and everything, previously we'll just upload and then process those ones. But now, because of the new system, some of anybody with questionable data, our system flags you. So once we see the pictures, and then the pictures, some of the pictures and some of the ages are not consistent with our age limits or our age range, the system begins to flag those ones one by one. So for instance, some of the people that we saw on the list were like 60 years, some of them were like 50-something years, 48 years, 65 years, somebody was even 68 years. So the moment the system detects that, our system will flag you. So now we needed to do in-person investigations. So that is where Major Pengu, the IT team, we all had to move around with the Director General, move to the schools to make sure, listen, bring your class list again. We want you to, in our presence, enter all the class lists and then identify for us this particular people, because we don't think these people completed your school this time. So that was how come we unraveled most of the. So these are not like ghost names. If you like, they are like witches because they are in flesh and body.
Oh, wow. So we have moved from ghost names to witches and wizards. To witches and wizards.
That is the point, my
So
dear.
witches and wizards, because these people, they have flesh to them. They are not even ghosts anymore.
Yes. So what happens is that once you pay, the money goes to them. Then there is a particular cartel that goes to take the money and then splits the money with them. So they are just sitting home. The money comes to them monthly, and they split the money with the IT team.
Wow. And these are the senior most witches and wizards.
Yes,
Mr. Fuseni,
yes.
tell us, there are, however, genuine service personnel right now. How can you assure us that this system cleanup is not going to affect these people? We know how it is sometimes. By the time you're done cleaning up, then it starts to affect genuine people who want to serve. How can you assure us that this will not happen?
Yeah, so until we brought this up, it was happening seamlessly without even anybody knowing.
Okay.
So it has nothing to do with the prospective service personnel.
Right.
The biggest challenge we had with our service personnel this year was the data mismatch.
Right.
That is those who inflated their ages because they wanted to vote in the 2020 election. They are some of the people having to suffer this time.
Mr.
And then some
Fuseni,
of them,
yeah.
yes, please.
You just finish that one before I come with my next question. Please finish.
Then the other people too were those who also inflated their ages because they wanted to enter the university as mature students.
Right.
They are the people now suffering because of the data mismatch on their Ghana card and then the dates of birth in the school. That is where they are having the problems with. And then those who also change their names. The moment you change your name after school without affidavit and the school doesn't have that particular change of name that you have on your Ghana card, the moment there's a change of name, the system will not allow you to proceed. So those are the people who had challenges.
Okay.
And that one, we had over 10,000 of them.
Wow.
But these particular ones that we are talking about are just about 2,000 that we flagged in the system and we were able to identify them. 800 of them have already been expunged. And the rest 2,000, the rest 1,002, we are still working to get them all out of the system.
All right.
So once we get them, we will screen them out of the system immediately. It will affect the prospective personnel in any way.
Well noted, Mr. Fuseni. But before you go, I'm not sure if you were listening to some of our callers before we got you on Zoom, but many people are complaining. All we keep hearing is we're investigating. These number of people have been picked up and the security personnel are conducting investigations. When are we going to see proper prosecution of all these people who have fraudulently affected our national service scheme?
Okay, Koki, thank you very much. Yes, I listened to some of them. But the truth of the matter is that those who actually perpetrated the act of onboarding the unqualified people are with the national security. Some of them are also with the police custody right now.
Okay.
But when it comes to prosecution, that is at the doorstep of the Attorney General. And then previously to those who actually engaged in the ghost names. Mind you, it was this administration that actually came to uncover the ghost name saga. So it's not as if something started and we are continuing with the investigations. No. We actually came to uncover the ghost names and reported to the finance minister, and then he also actually reported to the Attorney General. In fact, all the evidence that are being used at the court now were provided by National Service Authority leadership now. In fact, I signed some of the audit queries myself. So, do you get it? Even for it to rise from 500, initially we were all talking about 560 million. Was that not it?
Yes.
It had to take National Service to do a forensic system audit to bring out all the other things that were hiding in the system. That was how come it now rose to 2.2 billion Ghana cedis. So yes, we actually brought all those evidence up. But then after that, prosecution lies with the Office of the Attorney General. And I'm sure you are aware that most of them have been charged.
Yeah.
I think at least 2 people have been charged already.
Yes.
And yes, a lot is still ongoing. Even some of our own personnel that were involved in aiding some of the schools to do what they are doing, they were also picked up.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not just about investigation.
Okay.
Yes, like why I said investigation is that the 2,000 names that were flagged, we could have just deleted all the 2,000, but then we need to be sure that the 800 we deleted, for them, we were sure that these people, they were not in any school, so we deleted them easily. But the rest, we needed to be sure. That is why we are still investigating with all the schools to corroborate that, listen, the names, these 1,200 names don't belong to any of your schools. So they accept it. We also are clear with it, then we easily expunge them. It is not about prosecution. Prosecution lies with the Attorney General.
Donko Fuseni is Deputy Director General for Administration and Finance with the National Service Authority. We thank you so much for your time, sir. Now, to one last message before we take a break. Prince Henry Koforidua says, good morning. The Ruth Sedol-led National Service Authority are doing well and must be supported to do more. As for the NPP presidential race, I see Dr. Baumia winning. And the moment Dr. Baumia wins, that will be the end of the NPP because Ken will break our way. Thank you for your message. Hassan of Etel Tigo, good morning to you. You are watching us. Thank you very much for sticking and staying. Now, the TDC Ghana Limited, Ghana's premier real estate development company, is pleased to announce its official entry into the Volta region whole as part of activities leading to the unveiling of its major upcoming mixed-use development project in the Oxygen City. This landmark project, dubbed Whole Oxygen City TDC Development, will comprise fully serviced plots, modern apartments, elegant executive houses, a commercial and industrial area, as well as a world-class golf course designed to promote luxury business growth, and sustainable living. We are also proud to announce that the official launch of this prestigious project will be performed by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana. Now, it's on Wednesday tomorrow, the 17th of December, 2025, 10 a.m. sharp. It will be underway. Now, this development reaffirms TDC Ghana Limited's commitment to delivering a quality, innovative, and sustainable communities for the people of Ghana. For enquiries, you can call 0303 202 731 or 0531 019 666. And that's by way of information from the TDC. To all of you who sent us messages, thank you. To all of you who were able to get through to the telephone lines, and even those who tried and couldn't get through, we apologize. But we do thank you for your time on this morning. It's still TV3 New Day. We'll go for a breather. When we come back, the big issue will be here.
people working with this thing, you know that certainly you have to increase your chances by looking at the odds, all right? All of you know what we're talking about. But, well, we have to do the discussions right here on big issues. And we're talking about just some few days to the Pandai rerun. And as at now, there's no other decision by our courts indicating that the rerun will not take place, because there's been a notice already in a statement by the Electoral Commission of Ghana indicating that following that notice they've gotten from the office of the Speaker, it also means that that has been well articulated and communicated to the Electoral Commission. And we already know that the political parties, particularly the NDC and the MPP, they already are in the constituency. There were reports that at least one person was dead following, a hive of bees stinging some NDC participatory supporters as well as campaigners. I'll tell you, one of their representatives, he saw it firsthand. He was nearly stung by a bee as well. So Hamza Sohini is here right here. Good morning to you. Hamza. You were not part? You didn't get stung by the bee?
Roland.
I'm surprised.
I was in Accra.
You were in Accra.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll be going by end of month.
You'll be going by closer. But you have to be part of the campaign or before. Anyway. And then we also have Austin Bracco Powers. He's a legal practitioner and has some years under his belt. So he's a regular right here on the show. Strong man with strong views. Good morning to you, lawyer Bracco Powers.
Good morning, Roland.
How are you?
Good morning to you.
Yeah, he has a very well patronized channel on TikTok called Ask
Lawyer Bracco Powers.
Okay, Ask Lawyer Bracco Powers. He's always giving tips on how you need to get your cases right, etc., and do your LLB, which of the law schools you have to choose, and then particularly on some decided cases, making some decisions. So he's a good educator of the public as well, whilst doing advocacy and litigation. And then also, I have Dr. Inusa. How are you?
Roland, I would say I'm well.
You're looking good.
Thank you. You're looking good as well.
Yeah. We have 16 days to Christmas. No, 15 days to Christmas, yeah. So I don't celebrate Christmas very much. So you guys will celebrate Christmas.
You're trying to run away.
No, I'm not running away. I'm not running away. And so we're talking about the Pandai rerun. Now, what does it mean? Already, Global Info Analytics now recognized as one of the leading survey houses right here in Ghana, already making those based on the reports they are picking on the ground that the Member of Parliament, who is no more, so to speak, because of that subject matter, Matthew Nyindam will have to also participate in this rerun, seems to be slightly ahead of the polls as well. You look at what the figures are, he could nick it in the bud, but there are some deciding factors, as we know, when it comes to by-elections, as well as reruns of these sorts, all right? So quickly we'll take you through, and let's look at what the figures are looking like, looking at what Global Info Analytics is indicating, also the statistics when it comes to the voting pattern, etc. So who would you vote for the upcoming by-election? And this one we extracted from the survey report of Global Info Analytics, indicating the incumbents, Matthew Nyindam, 50% of those respondents said they would vote for him. Daniel Insala Wakpal, 46%. Mind you, Matthew Nyindam was dethroned or deposed by Daniel Insala Wakpal, all right, in 2020. And subsequently, Matthew Nyindam again went into the fight again, gave it a go. And by 2024, in that parliamentary election, also was able to win. And so it's been a topsy-turvy over the last 3 elections between these 2 individuals. 46% of those respondents said they will vote for him. But, 1% says someone else or someone. They didn't indicate whether it will be Matthew or it will be Daniel. And 3% said they were undecided. That makes it a very, almost like a divided race, so to speak. Now, what other information have we extracted from the report of Global Info Analytics? So the respondents were asked who they would vote for or who they voted for in the 2024 election. And 50% said they voted for the incumbent, that's Matthew. 48% said they voted for the former MP. And then 2% said they were undisclosed. Again, telling you a divided race. Now, the question then will be, for many of you who look at the optics and what the numbers and then the side attractions are, what could tilt the scale, so to speak, in favor of either the incumbent Matthew Nyindam or the former MP, Daniel Nsala Wakpal? And I have to say, Nsala Wakpal, we all went to school together, so I know him very well. Yeah, so, but how does it look like? I see that the NDC is also on the ground. The MPP also is marshalling the forces, so to speak. The public opinion nationally is up. And Hamza, it looks like they say the MPP candidate will win, the incumbent.
Good morning.
Morning, Hamza.
To my colleagues in the studio and our cherished viewers out there. Roland, for us, I think that the most important thing is how to turn the tide in favor of the National Democratic Congress. Unlike many of our colleagues do, especially on the other side of the political divide, who pretend to love data, but anytime data points to a certain direction that they are not comfortable with, they are quick to discredit such data. The NDC will not do that. We have been following the works of Musa Dankwa, and I can assure you that as a political party, we have started working on the details of this particular outcome that he has published. And we are going into the election with one commitment: to take back the Pandai seat. Indeed, like you have correctly recollected, from 96, I think it has been in the hands of the National Democratic Congress until somewhere in 2004, when we lost that seat. Then subsequently was it in 2012 when we lost it? Then subsequently in 2016. And it has been a battle since. But I can assure you that one of the reasons why the NDC lost it, especially in the 2016 general election, was largely because of internal divisions.
Pandai?
Yes. Unfortunately, even in the last election, we had internal divisions as far as the Pandai seat is concerned. So I understand that the National Executive Committee are working assiduously on the grounds to ensure that many of these divisions are nipped in the bud and we can forge a united front. And that is the beauty of elections. Pandai is one seat the NDC is committed to winning. Even when in 2024, when we're scaling down the seats we're likely to win in the northern region, Pandai was one of the seats we scaled down, even though we knew that there were some inherent challenges as far as internal party cohesion is concerned. So the outcome of the research is not surprising. But amidst that, I think that the NDC put in a very strong effort in the last election. And that's why we're convinced that our candidate won the election. That resulted in the court contest. But I can assure you that, Roland, we accept the outcome of this research. We still have some few days to go. We will do whatever it takes to ensure that we win the Pandai seat for the benefit of the good people of Pandai and to a very large extent for the political benefit of the northern region as a bloc that continuously commits to the National Democratic Congress. And so we will put in our very best. But I am convinced that the Honorable Wakpal is going back to Parliament, especially after the 30th of December. When it comes to the court challenge, we are made to understand that our friends have filed a number of processes in the law courts, and we respect it until such a time that we have a direct order from the court indicating that we should not go ahead with the election result, with the conduct of the elections. We would have no option, Roland, than to obey the order of the High Court and subsequently the letter that was written by Clerk of Parliament to the Electoral Commission, based on which the Electoral Commission also proceeded to declare a date for the election. So this is the law working, and all of us should be proud as a republic. If at the end of the day we have anything to the contrary from the courts again that says that, look, halt the processes, be rest assured that the Electoral Commission and that of the Republic of Ghana will do same and honor the directives of the court. But until such a period, we are fixated on taking back our seats and maintaining what we want, especially when it comes to the Panda area, because we need to consolidate those gains. And we will do everything it takes, legally, for that matter, that is within the acceptable democratic norms as well, to ensure that we take that seat back. Okay. And we are committed to that.
Dr. Yusa, you take cognizance of the narrative surrounding this particularly, this particular rerun, so to speak, the applications before the court, and then the conversations by lawyers like Bracco Powers as well as others there who have different views, thinking that perhaps maybe Parliament should take recognition of those actions or the applications before the court. And as a result of that, hasting in making those declarations that the seat is vacant, and subsequently, based on the ruling of the High Court, you communicate to, through the Clerk of Parliament, the Electoral Commission, subsequently, this is where we are. What would you say that creates within the political arena in terms of public opinion and then also even for the protagonists or the antagonists themselves?
Well, Roland, this debate should be looked at from the legal perspective, right? All the processes leading to this rerun, was there any violation of the law? I dare say no. Nothing of that sort is a contravention of even the Constitution. If you look at CI 19, as amended CI 132, Rule 27, right, of the Appeals Court,
The Court of Appeal.
Court of Appeals Rule 27, it says that it is only a court of appeal that can order for a stay of execution. And that even if you apply for an appeal, normally the lawyers will say you have a period of 7 days. A window of 7 days, right?
Yeah, that's the automatic.
Well, automatic. A period of 7 days, which it would stay that process, that judgment. But here, in this case, the defendant, or say the plaintiff, applied way after the clerk had issued this statement. So it doesn't apply. If the MPP applied before the clerk had issued that statement, then we will say that yes, indeed, what the clerk to Parliament did maybe is in contravention to the law. But as far as the laws are concerned, and it is embodied by Article 112(5) of the 1992 Constitution for the clerk to issue such statement. So, Roland, I do not see anything wrong about this. Indeed, we're in this country where the previous administration, under their regime, if there is any issue, there would be their popular mantra was that go to what? Court. Go to court. So indeed, if they claim that they understand what the rule of law is about and understand the tenets of our Constitution, then I do not see any need in this brouhaha. Indeed, EC has issued a notice. You are going into the polls. What you have to do is to campaign and share whatever messages you have with the voters. And if they are able to buy into if they buy into your message, then that's it. But I do not see anything wrong as far as our laws are concerned in this regards, right? And indeed, it is quite worrying. With the trend at which the MPP is declining, Roland, I have to be very honest.
What has the MPP got to do? You're a former member of the MPP, and so making such utterances, somebody will say. Anyway, United Party, please go ahead.
Roland, it hurts me, to say this, that giants like President Kufuor have come out to call the ills of the MPP, and indeed, the mismanagement of the economy and such reckless policies introduced by the previous administration under the watch of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. That is why today we can be able to juxtapose the Kufuor's groupings, or I'll say governance system, against that of Akufo-Addo's governance system. Indeed, in 2008, the NDC had to suffer to beat the MPP in the presidential elections. It took a rerun, and it took indeed some form of lobbying of these smaller parties and an amalgamation or alliance with other smaller parties like the CPP, PNC for the NDC to beat the MPP.
What's your point?
My point is that the MPP today is an acephalous party.
You cannot make those conclusions.
Well, it is a party without any
just
direction.
In 2016, until the 2024 general
I
elections.
just did a comparative analysis between the year 2008 and that of 2024. So indeed, if you look at even the polls done by Musa Dankwa from 2024 to 2025, October, he indicated that MPP's base declined from 36% to 27%. Roland, this is worrying. If they are listening today, this is indeed worrying. And the reason why these figures are coming out like this is because the current MPP, which I call Nanes People's Party, right, has moved away from the founding ideals of the party, the UP tradition, and is propagating Nana Addo Dankwa and Bawumia's ideology.
But they are all members of the same UP tradition.
You think so, Roland? Roland,
I think so.
You think so?
That's.
I doubt. Because if you look at the governance of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, it is far from the UP tradition. The UP tradition believes in the private sector. It believes in the development of the private sector. What happened under their regime? Banks collapsed. UT Bank is one classical example. That if they feel that they do not like you, they will cripple you. And that was how they led. And
Dr. Idrissa, how is that relevant to a rerun in Pandai?
No, Roland. We are talking about a decline in a political party. The Pandai seat, I think that it is a close call, but, well, I do not support any of the parties going into this election. It's quite unfortunate that we don't have our full license. Otherwise, we would have also raised a candidate to also contest that seat, Roland, as a united party. But what I can say is that since it's a very close call election, I want the security agencies to up their game because I can sense some form of violence. Already there's some propaganda going around with bees attacking people and all that. I do not know how Malams can bring bees from the bush to attack.
I don't understand. You don't believe in spirituality and.
Well, as a Muslim, I believe in spirituality, but I mean the allegation that was made by the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, I think that is neither here nor there. I mean, tell the people what you can do for them. And indeed, Roland, if you look at the current public debt, within a period of 3 months, it has ballooned to over 71 billion Ghana cedis. But I can see that there are some worries here, Roland. And if the NDC wants to really mitigate this debt, they promise us oral, Operation Recover or Loot, which amounts to $21.9 billion. So if we want to look at their performance, right, they would be in government for 4 years. So it means that each and every year till the 2028 election, they have to recover $5.475 billion each year. And when you multiply that by the current exchange rate, it's about 67.5 billion cedis. So it means that if they had recovered 67.5 billion cedis this year, it would have been able to cancel almost 90 or 95% of the public debt. So, I mean, it's still not too late. From now to January 7th is quite short. They've not still marked their first year in office. It's not still 1 year. So we are waiting for them to recover that $54.75 billion this year, because that's the target, so that they can be able to, reduce the debt stock. So, Roland, what I would say is that I care about the security and the peace of Pandai. That is what I care about. I do not support any of these two candidates. I want a free and fair election. And indeed, this is an indictment on the image of Jane Mensah as EC chairperson. And it's time we as a people, and indeed the political class, should have an amalgamation to kick her out, because this is a huge loss to the public purse. If they had done their work well, I'm not sure we would have had this rerun. It's so unnecessary. But due to the failure of the EC to ensure that and even the police, right, to guard the collation center, to prevent people from damaging electoral materials, this is where we are. So, Roland, I want to see a peaceful election. I do not support any candidate in this election. I want Ghana to win at the end of the day. It's our democracy that is at stake, and we want to see the EC reformed. We want to see a new competent EC chairperson man that seat, so that things like this will be a thing of the past.
Austin Brackle Powers, lawyer. And I see that you've had some misgivings about the decision that has been taken, especially from Parliament, and now subsequently with the EC having no other decision to make, going ahead with the rerun, particularly taking notice of the applications before the polls.
Yes, Roland, the thing is that as much as we would have expected particularly Parliament and the other constitutional bodies to have at least taken their time with regards to this election rerun, we believe that their actions are in conformity with the constitutional processes.
You and who?
I mean, anyone who understands the constitutional framework, particularly the political development of this country, will be in a position to appreciate what is going on. In fact, Roland, the results of the poll released by Global Info Analytics does not suggest a foregone conclusion, and I'm sure the other panelists have hinted.
Which factor do you think could influence?
In fact, Roland, there are three critical variables that could alter the trajectory of the rerun. Chief among them is the impending or the anticipated pronouncement of the Superior Court. Don't forget, this week we are expecting to hear from both the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. You understand? And I believe, even though I will not want to speculate on the outcome, but I believe a favorable ruling in favor of Martin Nyindam could materially affect the
You are expecting a favorable ruling?
No. I'm saying I believe a favorable rerun could...
A ruling?
A favorable ruling would materially affect the election rerun. But beyond that, Roland, what this situation, in fact, exposes a constitutional and statutory lacuna. One, bordering on the procedural consequences, especially when a court orders a parliamentary rerun. With regards to how, for example, timelines, with regards to immediate disposition of the electoral dispute, hearing of appeal, and stay of execution. I think we are lacking in this regard. And now I believe that we will need to reform and address this issue, because we need some safeguards. We need expedited timelines, particularly one on appeal. What timeline? If there's an appeal regarding a parliamentary election, how many days?
So there should be a definitive timeline.
Exactly, there should be an expedited timelines with regard to that, clearly expedited timelines. So disposition of parliamentary election disputes, hearing of appeals, and stay of execution. Because some of these things, we saw that in the case of Yechikwesi, which dragged on for months. And I think it does not augur well for us. In fact, if we don't have these constitutional safeguards, the system becomes susceptible to political interference. And that is, for me, as a student of law, a worrying trend and development that anybody who is listening to us or any well-meaning Ghanaian should be interested in.
So what's your point? That
the point is that
Parliament should have taken notice or cognizance of what was happening outside the...
I think that would have been the best solution. Because ideally, that would have been the best solution. But because of the lack of a well-pronounced constitutional or statutory provisions. But I think, lovers of democracy should have taken cognizance of the legal matters before this court and say that because of this, we want to stay. In fact, don't forget that in the case of the anti-LGBT bill, which was passed by Parliament, the President did not assent to, saying because he said there are processes before the court. I think these are steps we could take to protect our democracy. The thing is that there must be political certainty. And this must be, insisted upon by the political class.
So let me ask you, if it was a presidential election and there was an application, let's say a ruling by the court, that we should go ahead because there was a dispute and do the swearing in or continue with the declaration and subsequently go ahead with the swearing in. And then there's an application before the court. We should stay the swearing in. Is that on the same time what you're saying?
When it comes
legal
to,
practitioner.
Yeah, when it comes to a presidential election dispute and the Supreme Court makes a determination, don't forget that there's a manual. In fact, with regards to the presidential election dispute, the Supreme Court has clearly, produced a manual guiding the processes. So, in fact, I think
but they are still constitutional matters nonetheless.
The thing is that we should take a cue from that. We need a manual on parliamentary election dispute. Let's have timelines, Roland, because all this back and forth. I have said that if care is not taken, if the election rerun takes place, and Matthew Nyindam succeeds in both, either of the two superior courts, we end up having two members of parliament after having spent or expended huge sums of money to run the election. So I think sometimes we don't need a clearly defined statutory or constitutional provisions touching on a particular matter for us to take some decent steps to protect our democracy, to ensure political certainty in our system. These are matters we should be dealing with because we are building a democracy and we need not to be too political and be antagonistic because it doesn't favor us and because it is to the disadvantage of an opponent. So we need to insist on that. I said this, the opposition New Patriotic Party, in fact, they did the same. And we are seeing a replay. And I think we don't need this trajectory. These two political parties must be able to sanitize the system. Let's move together as a people. Some of these things, we will spend huge sums of money, taxpayers' money, that could have been diverted into even education, the education sector, in fact, creating jobs. That's a major concern. Today, many of the youth are engaging in even drug abuse. Doc was talking about issues of drug abuse, and we also have cyber crimes. Cyber crimes are rising to the roof in this country, both domestic and international. Roland, we need to, as a people, take decisions that will favor our country, not political and partisan one. So I think if our political institutions had been mindful, we would have taken steps to hold the process until we have final determination or until the two superior courts clearly dispose of the legal matters before them. So I think, though they are hiding behind the politics, which is because of the absence of a clearly pronounced...
Who is hiding behind the superior court?
No, I'm saying that the political institutions are hiding behind the lacuna in the constitution and even in any of the statutes to carry out their duties, which, even though I don't have any problem with that, I think if we are mindful of the system we are building and we want to take steps to protect the interests of Ghanaians, we will not engage in what we are doing.
So you're advocating for a manual. But that said, the election is going ahead. Do you think that perhaps both parties should tread cautiously? In addition, even the independent body, the Electoral Commission, organizing this?
Absolutely. But Roland, you see,
Wait, I have Musa Dankwa on Zoom. Mr. Dankwa, good morning to you.
Good morning, Roland.
Just to apprise you of the latest, a bee stung some members of the NDC in the campaign. You're laughing. Please show him laughing. A bee stung. And, this will go into our annals as one of the stories for electoral campaigns, right? But at the end of the day, it also shows how the two parties take this seriously, right? And when you take a look at the constituency and then the results thereof and the outcome of your survey, it seems to be a very close-knit one.
Yes, Roland, thank you very much for having me. The recent poll shows that the race is very close at this point. Because we have about 2 weeks more to go for campaigning and other things to be done in the constituency before the elections are held. But what we can say is that clearly the MPP candidate is performing well, 4% lead, though within the post margin of error. It's better to be ahead than behind in any polls. One thing that is unique in this election is that the overall sentiment in the constituency is positive for the ruling government, in the sense that generally people perceive the country to be headed in the right direction. They also see Mahama doing well. Around 64% of them approve the way he's doing his job. And overall, about 54% of the voters say that the economy or their living condition has improved compared to last year. So these are kind of sentiments that usually should carry the ruling party's candidate across the line quite easily. But we have not seen that in the poll yet, which suggests that the MPP candidate is strong on the ground. Despite the positive sentiment in the constituency, he still has a slender lead over the NDC candidate.
How does it work? I mean, historically, or if I can use the word by precedence, that the sentiment of constituents or voters on how well maybe the government is running the country in a particular time, especially coinciding with a rerun or a by-election, would affect their choices or decision-making?
Roland, we saw this in, is it Ablekumanov? You know, after elections, a party is in power, a government is in place. The argument for by-elections or rural elections completely changes. And people now are certain as to who is in government, and who is the president, and they sometimes tend to reward the sitting government. For example, if you want to show your appreciation to what is happening, then you don't send opposition candidates to parliament. You tend to reward them by sending their MPs to parliament. But this will not always be the case. There will be exceptions. And I don't know whether Bandai was one of the exceptions. But indeed, Akwetia was the same, where NDC MPP was leading by even a bigger margin than Nyindam, but went ahead to lose Akwetia election because of the same argument. The power of incumbency is very strong. And the argument you can make if you're an incumbent party, unless you are really unpopular government, then you may be suffering from that kind of unpopularity. For example, when you saw in Asinov, at a time where MPP was probably struggling, it was the reason why the MPP couldn't win Asinov and NDC won. But in Pandai, NDC is popular, or the ruling party is popular right now. The government is popular, the president is popular. Will Pandai people defy the norm and do something different? Only time will tell.
But these are two individuals, all former members of parliament and the incumbent as well. So they've been in and out. So they are known well by the constituent. Is that not it? But
correct.
Okay. But you look at the margins, it's just a 3%, 2%, 1% scale by way of the plus or minus. So with all the individuals trooping in, the party in power as well as the immediate past party in power, so to speak, what could influence the voters?
Look, when we spoke to the voters in Bandai, they mentioned unemployment or jobs as one of the key things that bother them. They also mentioned the economy, and they mentioned roads and education. So these are the top four. Usually you find economy on top of people's concern when the economy was in bad shape. But now the economy is not in a bad shape. So economy is no longer a priority for them. The priority for them now is jobs. Now, if you juxtapose that to the demography of Pandai, which is highly, I would say, uneducated, about 43% of the constituents have no formal qualification. 43%. What kind of jobs are they looking for? The farming jobs or miniature? I mean, so you have to really guess what kind of job these guys are looking for and offer them. And I'm not quite sure whether an opposition party can offer jobs. And that is where MPP may be at disadvantage. To address those issues, you must be in government. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to make a case that you can provide them the jobs. Nevertheless, I think sometimes people protest by voting somebody the government does, away from the ruling party. And that's a way of telling them that they are not happy. But I'm not quite sure whether they are not happy because they are saying that they are happy. So let's see. If Nindam wins, I think he will do so because he's a very strong candidate and people may like him.
Okay. Is he liked? I mean, is he liked? If
So.
the people may like, is he liked?
I think, you see, if he's not liked, he will be behind.
Okay.
He's leading. And you can see that, you know, if he loses, it's not because he's a bad candidate. No. It's because the power of incumbency is too much for him to withstand.
All right. You're not going to conduct any more polls before the rerun, right? The 31st rerun.
We will. We are looking to go back next week. And by Sunday, 28th or so, or 29th Monday, the report will be out. And at that point, we'll be able to do some predictions as to who is going to win.
Right. You have a thick skin. You always get insulted on social media. I'm always on your Facebook. So you don't mind, right? This one is favoring MPP, so I think you are liked. Or is that also?
I mean, with this kind of job, Roland, you must just be ready for anything. It just doesn't bother me.
Right. Okay. We'll see when your latest polls will come out before the 31st. But the question about what the parties need to get right, what should be the messaging?
I think that the messaging...
No. Yes, please. You want to answer that one? I'll be happy.
Oh, no. If it's my panel, I can go. I can leave you to continue the debate.
No, answer that one and then you go.
Okay, you see, what people should do is that don't ignore the polling data. They've told us what are the top issues that bother them. They said employment or jobs, economy, rules, and education. If you take any other messaging beyond these four, you're going to lose big time.
Interesting. We wish you all the best there. And get more accolades. This morning, I see MPP supporting you today. So until we wish you all the best. Musa Dankwa. So what should be the messaging?
Well, that has to do with the strategy of the National Democratic Congress. And I think that is something we
That's your trade secret.
regarding. But you see, let me quickly prompt my brother Musa that, especially when you are conducting research in the northern regions, what you are likely to pick may not truly reflect the desires of the people. I can assure you. Cultural leanings and loyalty plays a significant role when it comes to electoral choice as far as the northern part of the country is concerned. So there's a tendency for you to walk to Pandai and speak to people as part of the data collection processes, and they will tell you that they are looking for jobs. They are looking for enhancement in education or improvement in their educational infrastructure and stuff like that. But the nitty-gritties of ethnicity, cultural loyalty may be missing, which undoubtedly at the end of the day would inform how people vote, especially when it comes to reruns of this nature. And so that point needs to be made. Again, I am a bit skeptical when it comes to the issue of the performance of this government in designing an appropriate campaign messaging for that particular side of the northern region, because I'm quite familiar with the Pandai politics. And I can assure you that if the government decides or the party decides to tailor its messages based strictly on the performance of the government in the past 11 months or so, we would have a challenge in winning that particular seat. And that is left for the National Democratic Congress to handle. And I'm sure that they are doing so effectively, because my information on the ground is that they are touching all the nerves they are supposed to touch and appealing to the people in ways that are acceptable, both legally and democratically. And so that is comforting. Like I indicated in my earlier submission, the objective for the National Democratic Congress, Roland, is to win the seat. But I appreciate the issues my brother raised in relation to the ongoing dispute as far as the Pandai seat is concerned in our court systems. You see, Roland, when I started my submission, I was careful not to stray into the arena of the legal dispute, because as far as I'm concerned, there's a constitutional architecture. And that architecture is the basis of the announced 30th rerun, regardless of the differences or difficulties we would have had with that particular constitutional architecture. That is the constitutional architecture. And I agree with you that there's a need for us to work to perfect that system and make it more accommodating when it comes to issues of appeals and stuff like that. So I agree. But you see, where I have a problem is to attempt to mirror the National Democratic Congress in the light of the NPP. As if to say that we are only playing according to the rule book of the NPP when they were in power. We promised an agenda to reset the country. And the NDPP can never, Austin, be the standard for the National Democratic Congress. I can assure you that. And I say so based on conviction. You see, we are not having a situation where the entire government machinery and the legislature arm of government are involved, working closely to remove a sitting member of parliament from parliament, like we had in the Jachu Kwesen case. We all saw the speed. We all saw the questionable interventions of the Attorney General's office to the Electoral Commission through to Parliament of Ghana. In this particular instance, you can say so. Look, when the issue was first brought before Parliament, remember the majority chief whip on the side of the National Democratic Congress was the first to call for the declaration of the seat to be made vacant. The Speaker of Parliament resisted that invitation and referenced CI 19 and the automatic 7-day stay that it grants, and rejected the invitation to declare. In the past, they would have declared. You know this as a matter of fact. The NPP would have. We didn't. Now, under Article 1124, the power of communication and declaration falls on the Clerk of Parliament. He is not an appointee of the NDC government. He is the Clerk of Parliament. He proceeded to discharge his constitutional obligation. We cannot fault him, like you indicated. There's a lacuna, I agree, in the law. We cannot fault him for exercising his constitutional responsibility. Especially if he had failed to do so, that would have been an affront to the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. So yes, to the extent that there's an appeal application pending and we are doing this, raises some issues for us to look at as a country, especially depending on the eventual outcome of the appeal. I agree with you, Roland. What's the name? Austin. But you see, Austin, another thing you must avoid is to attempt to use Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as the standard when it comes to many of these things. Because I was a bit worried when you referenced the gay bill and the fact that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, as he then had to stay and gave the excuse that, oh, I had to stay because there was a pendant. It's a bad example. Wait. Even if it was, that is a bad example. You see, Nana Addo doesn't deserve that. You see, mind you, in the e-levy application, there was an injunction application before the law courts. Nana Addo proceeded to assent to that bill. There was another incident where in the case of Reverend Margaret Boache versus Resurrection Power New Generation Church, where the court had granted an injunction preventing the marking of a funeral event in Kumasi, the injunction was public. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, as sitting president of the Republic of Ghana, honored that funeral, attended and participated from beginning to the end when he was cautioned against it. So it is clear. It should be clear to you, Austin, that Nana Addo only sought to use the laws when he felt, at the time he was president, that it suited the interests of his government or the New Patriotic Party. That is not what is happening under this regime. And that is why I'm of the view that using him and referencing the Gale bill application is bad, because he doesn't deserve that laxity.
He's talking about
no. He's talking
a decision that somebody who heads the executive would have to make mandatorily based on provisions in the Constitution, for which he took notice of applications outside his remit.
And I've just given you 2 other cases where similar applications were pending, and in one actually granted. And the same gentleman proceeded to disregard the court order. I'm coming, Doc. He proceeded to disregard that court order. And I'm simply telling that, look, I have no problem with his invitation or his call on people to exercise some restraint. But he should not use Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as an example.
But that's your opinion.
Especially when we know that he lacked that principle. You get it? It was simply about his own personal interest, Roland. And you see, there's a sea of difference when it comes to this president and this government and the past president and the past government. Because we have demonstrated our unwillingness to interfere with court processes. Look, we may have all our misgivings as far as the Pandai seat is concerned, but as far as the National Democratic Congress is concerned, we are obeying a court order. And we will not say, because the NPP has issues with the declaration of vacancy, the NDC would side with them and proceed not to participate in that particular election. We would. They are also on the grounds campaigning. And they are doing whatever it takes to win the seat. But I agree with you. The court processes must be quickened. We must have timelines, especially when it comes to parliamentary disputes at the Court of Appeal level. We must have timelines. These are things that the courts can handle, the Court of Appeal can handle in a matter of a week or less. And so let us begin having these discussions. It is in the interest of the Republic of Ghana for us to have these discussions. And I do not have any qualms or whatsoever as far as that proposition is concerned. And I think that the new Chief Justice ought to look into that particular concern.
Okay. And sir, if there are restraints you would call for from all sides, what should it be?
Roland, I personally and on principle have no trust for the current IGP, unfortunately. But I would call both sides to adhere to the rule of law, not to incite their supporters against each other. Already, we're hearing across the media some form of propaganda being propelled by both parties, and they need to tread cautiously. Indeed, we are going into, this is a joyous month, a very sacred month for that matter, for majority of Ghanaians. And so let us not give people the feeling of Easter in Christmas. You understand? There's a feeling where we have to be valiant, joyful. So I would urge both sides to restrain from any contumacious activity or anything that would undermine the peace and safety of the people of Pandai. And indeed, whoever would prevail victorious would prevail victorious. At the end of the day, we believe that whatever is written, Roland. Whatever is written in the bosom of the Lord. So they should tread cautiously. Peace should be the order of the day.
Your last observations.
Well, first off, I think I would just encourage the courts to expedite the legal matters before them. And again, the political parties must be cautious because, I mean, even though this may appear as or die be die, they must resist any attempt to foment dissension and cause chaos in Pandai. Because the thing is that at least this is an electoral contest, and per even the poll results of Global Info Analytics, it could tilt either direction, depending on campaign momentum, voter turnout, and external or political development. So they should just read the dynamics and go about their campaign. So that the MPP and Namapi, they are campaigning. The thing is that as much as you are subtly pursuing the legal processes, go and campaign, because you cannot guarantee that you get a favorable ruling from the court. And that is the perception and the mindset I want them to go into this election. Go and campaign as if there's no tomorrow. And when there's tomorrow, then you know what to do. You can rejoice after that.
Fantastic. I'm talking about rejoice. You wanted to add something? I want to speak.
Oh, no, you can.
Okay. Hamza, you've been monitoring the MPP internal politics so far and how it's been going. Kenny Japan has been speaking greatly. Yesterday he was on, was he on UTV? UTV? Yeah. Firing for Moang, even though he said he won't fire. Was firing in a strong interview and interaction. And then also, as well as what has been said by Adjoa Safo and all that in response. There's also Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, who is also promising a big database for party people who then will be well itemized, well identified, so that if there are goodies to be shared by way of jobs, etc., they know which inventory or database they have to follow on, etc. Your own observation so far. This one should not concern you. 2 minutes.
No, it should, because it is a political party that operates under the laws of Ghana. And as a responsible citizen, I must be interested in what happens within the politics of the New Patriotic Party. And so I think that I'm clothed with that constitutional responsibility and right to be interested in the affairs of the New Patriotic Party. Roland, I have also followed the activities of the New Patriotic Party, especially after the 2024 general elections. And one cannot help but agree with many who predict an eventual demise of the New Patriotic Party, largely because of their failure to break away from the Nanado kind of politicking that engulfed the party since 2007, when he emerged as flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party. Unfortunately, one was of the view that the party would reflect on the outcome of the 2024 general elections and proceed to reposition and rebrand. But it appears that they continue to dig themselves further into abyss. But you see, as to who becomes the next flag bearer, it should be clear by now. You don't need any pollster to tell you that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia undoubtedly will carry the day, especially as far as their internal primaries is concerned. But you see, Roland, if you look at all the candidates from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Kena Japan, Kwabena Japan, and individually, if you take them, there's some credibility crisis that many of them are facing. The first being Kennedy Agyapong, obviously. You see, I have always argued that regardless of our different political persuasions, we must get to a point as a country that we agree that there are certain people we must do everything within our power to keep away from the presidency of the Republic of Ghana. And I am convinced, without any shadow of doubt, that such personality is Kennedy Agyapong. Because you see, imaging is critical in a competitive global order. And we cannot wake up imagining Kennedy Agyapong as the ambassador of the Republic of Ghana. We can't. The temperament is not there, which is an essential component or attribute of a leader, especially when your decisions will border on lives. We cannot risk entrusting not just the Republic of Ghana, but even the future of a political party into the hands of such a person. I have my doubts and I have my fears when it comes to people like him. And we must all be interested in keeping them away from the presidency for the sake of our kids. Because that is not the kind of example we want them to see when they switch on our televisions. I listened to him yesterday and I was clearly disappointed and saddened by such utterances especially when politics is simply supposed to be a contest of ideas.
Oh, but it's campaigning, Hamza.
No,
I'm
but it's a
surprised that
contest
you
of
are going on
ideas.
this tangent.
You simply do
Or should
not
I
go
not be?
on a personalization drive with all kinds of adjectives on live TV when all kinds of people are watching, and you seek to create the impression that we are fighting each other and that it is so personal when it's simply supposed to be about ideas. Again, Roland, this is a gentleman who not too long ago called for a certain tribe to pick pesos and attack another tribe. And so such people, under President Mills as president, if you remember, he made those calls. And so such people must not be entertained, because you see, the danger is that indirectly we are telling many of our young people that it is good for them to continue on that tangent. And then you come to Brian Acheampong. Brian Acheampong succeeded in damaging his own brand when he decided to engage in unethical politics by being a cabinet minister and actually proceeding to buy or to attempt to buy a state asset. And these are issues that we should not take lightly as a country. You see, and the Senate matter, these are issues that we should not take lightly as a country. Look, it pains me to say this, but in truth, quite apart from how Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia allowed himself to be used from 2008 to 2016, and he championed many of the whimsical promises of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
How is he using when subsequently he helped Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo,
I will
the
get
MPP,
there, I'll get there.
subsequently became vice president?
Yes, I say, but you see, a chunk of his liabilities today will be discussed.
You have a minute to wrap up.
Stems from the activities he engaged in, especially in defense of Nana Addo's unbridled ambition to become president and subsequently his election as president. And the continuation of same in the last 8 years. That is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's baggage. But when it comes to amongst all the candidates who are contesting, I will not shy away from accepting that he has the best of temperament apart from the former education minister. And in terms of knowledge of the MPP affairs, you see, he may have joined the MPP lead, Roland, but I can assure you that of all the candidates, nobody has a national picture of the NPP than Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, not even Ken Acheampong, because he was running mate in 2008, running mate in 2012, 2016, then as vice president in 2020, and flag bearer in 2024. So when it comes to knowledge of the internal workings of the New Patriotic Party nationwide, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia still stands tall and understands the nerve and pulse of the political party nationwide than any of the candidates we are dealing with. And so undoubtedly he's the NPP's best shot going into the next election. But as to whether he can win them power is the discussion we should be talking about. Even if you are going to limit it to contribution, as to who contributes the best to the welfare of the New Patriotic Party, then again he stands tall. Like we referenced his activities for the MPP prior to the 2016 general election that eventually led to his power. You cannot discount his role.
All right.
So I can, but when we say this, they say we want Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to come for us to beat him. But look, whoever emerges in the NPP, the NDC would be battle ready to defeat that particular candidate.
Ken Acheampong?
Of course, but Ken would even be a bad story for the New Patriotic Party than any of the candidates.
You are former. You just left the stable, so you have insider information. United Party.
Well, Roland, I think that listening to the grassroots of the MPP, who have been neglected for 8 years under the SO administration.
They told you they've been neglected?
Of course. Well, Roland, I mean, if you look at all macroeconomic indicators and the economic hardship we went through under the previous administration, it rings a bell to what I'm saying. Roland, the MPP grassroots are calling for a flag bearer who will not be an opposition leader. But unfortunately, all the leading figures are future opposition leaders.
Oh.
Unfortunately, Roland.
No, sir.
Roland, the current trend of the leadership, the leading figures in the MPP today are future opposition leaders. We're talking about a future that, Roland, we want to see a formidable opposition, right? A future that we want to see. I do not want the MPP to die. If indeed the MPP goes back to its founding values and ideals, the days of J.H. Kufuor, then I believe that the MPP can recuperate from this big loss. But unfortunately, Roland, if you listen to the arguments in their primaries today leading to the flag bearership race, it is so appalling that it has been lowered to tribalism and religious politics.
What's tribal and religious about the messaging?
Roland, that certain people are minority and certain people are majority.
Is no. Are those assertions wrong?
Roland, we do not have a majority or minority tribe in Ghana. I dare anyone to come up with any poll today. We do not have any figure of that sort. There is nothing like a majority tribe or minority tribe in Ghana today.
Are you saying that should not be...
That should not be the message.
Okay.
Then you look at religion. We're leveraging on religion. And you see, Roland, I feel so sad hearing educated people make such commentary within the political landscape. Because, Roland, we're a country with history. We have suffered from the repugnant acts of slavery under our former colonial masters. Roland, history tells us that we suffered because we were highly tribalistic as a people. Today, what we want the political class to do is to unite Ghana for the collective interest of the nation, not try and divide people based on ethnicity. And so the fact that you are from a certain tribe means that you cannot rise within the ranks of the MPP. It should not be so. And talking about even Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, as I know Hamza is campaigning for Bawumia to win so that they would have an easy run in the 2028 election. Of course, I mean, I understand what he's doing.
You guys had a meeting, he told you that?
Oh, no, but I mean, Roland.
You're making this opposition because of his comments?
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia cannot never win an election for the MPP. I dare say so this morning.
Okay, you were on a tangent.
If you look at the preparations towards the flag bearership election, you've had people like Wontumi, who is a regional chairman, and then Abronye, all articulate the fact that the delegates' album going to be used to elect the flag bearer has already been manipulated and in favor of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
When did they say that?
They've said that countless times. You can pull out from the social media and all that. They've said that countless times.
You mean for this very election?
For this very election. I mean, we have suffered same. Roland.
That cannot be true.
Roland, I am saying this as an ex-party member. I have witnessed polling station elections in Greater Accra. We observed it. We know what went on. People that were affiliated with Alan Tremantin were removed out of the album and all that. We know what went on. So I'm saying that on authority, that Roland, all the machinations in place is still towards supporting the re-election of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as the next flag bearer of the MPP. But again, MPP needs serious leadership. MPP does not need an opposition leader. MPP should look for a candidate that can win an election for them, not an opposition leader. And the fact that you made mention of...
interested in the MPP winning an election?
But
again... you have your political party.
I'm just making a commentary as a neutral.
That they continue that way?
I am just making a commentary as a neutral. Now, let me come to the politics of the day. Roland, I heard Adjoa Safo make certain comments.
Who?
Adjoa Safo, she made certain comments. Yes, the former
What comment
MP,
did she make?
That a certain... candidate, if a candidate wins, is detrimental to her political future and all that, or career and all that.
Oh, she said that?
And that one important thing that she said, not even that a lot of Ghanaians are angry about, is that she said that the economic woes we suffered under the previous administration should be attributed to what? Ken Ofori-Atta and not Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Roland, who was the head of the economic management team? Under whose watch did we lose money through the Millennium Challenge account? Under the repugnant, scandalous PDS deal. Under whose watch did we lose 2.14 billion Ghana cedis due to the gold for oil policy? Under whose watch did we see the cedi decline and depreciate? And indeed, when he was campaigning during the 2016 election, said that the NDC took the cedi towards a Midonyami exchange rate. But indeed, under his tenure, it was a Midobonsam exchange rate. Roland, we have to say it as it is. We have to say it as it is. So Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, again, is not a candidate that... Pardon?
You said Mido what?
Midobonsam exchange rate. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia should never be the candidate
medical
for the
doctor.
MPP.
You shouldn't be saying some
Roland,
of these words.
Roland, if you say a Midonyami exchange rate, and the exchange rate has moved from what, 4 cedis to 16 Ghana cedis, what is it? Is it Midonyami or Midobonsam? So I end my case, Roland.
Okay.
Roland,
you've been observing.
Yes, I think the
contest. Which of them are you supporting?
Roland, the MPP presidential 2026 presidential ticket is shaping up as a tool.
Who are you supporting so that we'll quickly?
No. I think for me the issue has not been about who or the individual I am supporting. I think we just need a vigilant and a strong opposition party.
Okay.
And one thing that I've observed is that while this appears as a two-horse race between Dr. Bawumia and Ken Ofori-Atta, Kennedy Ejapon, many observers have suggested that Brian Ejapon could emerge as a dark horse to upset the status quo.
Why?
But I think, for me, I don't see it. They believe that with the groundwork that he's doing so far in the constituencies, he has a better chance of emerging successfully. But I don't see it. A sober reading of the political landscape does not suggest that. But, Roland, Dr. Bawumia is battling a different internal contest.
Dr. Bawumia is battling a different internal contest. And how did you draw those conclusions?
So, just like Doc referenced the commentary by the former Dominic Abenya member of parliament. Exactly. In fact, I think Dr. Bawumia has elements in his campaign team who are undermining his broader appeal and support.
I don't understand.
Because their comment or commentary in the media their commentaries in the media do not support or even advance his ambition.
Apart from Ajosafo, who else?
We have Abronye, and other elements.
Abronye is a regional chairman. How does he become a Bawumia person?
No, he's another supporter of Bawumia. You understand? He's another supporter. And these are people whose daily commentaries are undermining the broader appeal of Dr. Bawumia. And I think it's about time that Dr. Bawumia, in fact, invite those people for a meeting and prune those elements from his campaign in order to galvanize and consolidate.
But there are some great ones like Dennis Mirakaboy, who speaks greatly, directly communicating for...
where is he now?
Exactly. The thing is that as much as you may have some few ones who are advancing your cause, there are others who are...
That's why I'm asking which of the camps you are supporting, because the way you are speaking against Dr. Bawumia, that's why...
You see, Roland,
yes,
for me, I think the contrast between Kennedy Ejapon, the contrast between Kennedy Ejapon and Dr. Bawumia is often framed through temperament rather than substance. Because I'm saying that the contrast between Dr. Bawumia and Kennedy Ejapon is often framed through temperament rather than substance. And here's the thing. Usually, Ken is branded as combative firebrand. And Dr. Bawumia's calm and measured disposition is often misconstrued as political weakness. I think the MPP delegates will have to do a good job.
Which one do you like? Combative firebrand and then calm?
I think we can.
No, you.
No, personally, I don't mind.
We're doing political analysis. Or is that not it?
Roland, I don't mind a combative firebrand. Because
so you know where he stands.
Because
so you are Ken.
Can you imagine?
But so led you on.
No, relax.
This proper cross-examination.
No, not cross-examination. I'm saying per my disposition, I like combative firebrands. Why? Because these are people who can speak the truth to power, and these are people who have no regards for wherever you belong to. And
calling for people to pick persons and attack another tribe.
No, please allow him.
Roland, I think people may have their excesses. People may have their excesses. For me, Dr. Bawumia comes across to me as someone who cannot stand and defend whatever he believes in. For me. Because looking at what he has done within the past 8 years, looking at what he has done within the last 8 years, I think if is somebody, if he has a disposition to stand, to talk truth to power, we would have seen it. But this is someone who is calm, and when you are doing something which is not good, the person, he still keeps calm. And that is not good for this country. The thing is that we have President John Dramani Mahama. He has a measure of a calm and measured disposition, and he also have a combative firebrand. So he has a mixture of the two.
Class of his own.
So he has a mixture of the two. So if we have the extreme calm and measured attitude, disposition of a leader, that would be dangerous and consequential for this country. So I think the MPP delegates have a choice between choosing someone who can defend your welfare and someone who will keep quiet when you are even being
Lawyer Austin Brakupa, which constituency do you belong to?
I'm with.
So who are you voting?
So who are you? Ukankwe North.
Yes, I vote at Ukankwe North.
I need to go into the album.
That's a Kennedy supporter.
Can you imagine?
Please. He's doing analysis.
You brought it.
He's doing analysis. Zilis Dwayne, I've seen your message. Good morning to you. Strong Liverpool fan. And then Prince Nane Ayok says, if Dr. Baumia wins fairly, no problem. But if the mechanization, but if the machination is used to bring him back, there will be showdown. Prince Nane Ayok. Prince Nane Ayok is watching us from the UK. And then Money Money says, fear delegates. Hey. And then Bonti Benjamin says, it is clear that the good people of Pandai will once again favor the Honorable Matthew Nyindam to continue to serve them with respect, honesty, and development. MPP shall rise once again. And Bonti Benjamin continues, since the Honorable Adjo Asafo from the other camp has attested to the Honorable Kennedy Japon's credible leadership prowess with a selfless character, delegates should do the needful by voting him as a presidential candidate. And then he ends, Hamza's take on the presidential aspirant is very weak and must be rejected by even his own NDC members. Bonti Benjamin with that message there. Let me say good morning to you, Engineer Michael Nyame of the Feeder Roads Department. Wishing you all the best, or the Department of Feeder Roads. Wishing you all the best for the day. And then also, okay, let me read. Okay. Nana Gazo also has sent me a message. Good morning to you, Decibel. And Blueprint is writing from Esikado Ketang, says Musa Dankwe's research today may not likely reflect on what is on the grounds when it comes to the North. According to Hamza Suheyini, wow, when did this happen? Roland, I'm scandalized. And it says, greetings to the Honorable Kennedy Japong, the incoming flag bearer and subsequently President of Ghana, January 2029. And thank you, gentlemen. You wanted to...
Yes, Roland. This is just a clarion call. Roland, there's a phenomenon happening within our country, and I think that I have to bring the attention. It is already known, but the rate at which it is growing is alarming. Roland.
Is it the police?
No, drug abuse.
Okay.
Has been very rampant in this
cyber crime.
Drug abuse to me is even at the top. Because, Roland, we all here, seated here, have gone through some form of mental health crisis. I'm talking about anxiety, depression, and all that.
Okay.
Sometimes our youth are caught up in drugs and all that. So this is a clarion call that please, the government should have a national rehabilitation center. We need to build a national rehabilitation center for the youth that are caught up.
So we need rehabs for drug abuse.
And I'm calling on the government.
All right. Let me say good morning to you, Frank Fia, as well as all those who work in the office of the Minister for Roads, Kwame Gavin Sagboja. I wish you all the best for the day. But also, if you want to look smart and fashionable, make sure you visit any Woodin boutique nationwide, and you have to do that today because Woodin is offering an amazing collection of authentic African fabrics, and they're all coming in ready-to-wear costumes, beautiful designs as well as colors for men and women. And so with Woodin, you have to get creative and versatile with your design. So they get to show off how beautiful and confident you are truly if you're an African when you're in Woodin. And so go to a Woodin boutique near you today. Get to choose from their variety of trendy products to complement your unique style, and make sure that you follow them across social media by going to search for Woodin Fashion whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, among the many applications we have. We're taking a break. When we come back, the latest sports headlines right here for you.